Wonderful. Respected sadhakas, jignasus, mumukshus, shishyas of the Guru Parampara, Bhagavad Bhaktas, Dharma Samsthapakas, and sincere, serious citizens of this whole globe. Welcome and wishing you all really delightful Deepavali festival. Let Deepavali happen in your hearts, in the hearts of every one of your family, friends, well wishers known, especially and generally in the hearts of the entire universal beings by the divine grace. How difficult it is in this external world's calamitous happenings to maintain our duty oriented, responsibility oriented life. Pushes and pulls so much disturb us from exactly what we are supposed to do. In spite of all of them, negotiating through all of them, facing all our enemies outside, sticking to what to do. How tough it is a job. Towards family members, neighbors, professions, how many forces go on disturbing us. Yet there is no way than being matured to exactly know and do what is to be done. That is the way in life. So too the mind, the stormy mind, with so many thoughts of rajoguna, of variety of emotions and all, then entertaining all those thoughts, it gets tired. It wants to get rest or sleep. But negotiating through all those hundreds of thoughts gurgling, not allowing ourselves enter into the non-apprehension called as nidra, maintaining the calmness, peace, awakened state of mind is much more tougher job than the outer thing. It is easy to succumb to the words of people on the name of temporary safety security. What is tough outside is to be able to recognize what to do exactly and do that alone. In the same way, inside the mind, it is easy to succumb to the tamogunatmakata of the mana, entering into nidra, or rajogunatmakata of kshipta vikshipta bhumika, of entertaining thousands of thoughts. But maintaining the mana in the shanta bhumi, in the ekagra bhumi, in that again inside also lakshya avagahana yukta bhumika, in the mind. So tough it is because these are all things which mutually affect each other. The mind, the intellect, the senses, the outer perceptions, our egos, the egos of others. So we are all in the same boat traveling, same gubbara we are in, same train we are in. So we can never avoid mutual influences. Closely knit they are. That's why how much ever we try and struggle, still we can't maintain peace easily, not impossible. And yet the genius in us is what? Again to maintain that soberness, that calmness, that gentleness within ourselves, in spite of those tumultuous thoughts, which we can't easily avoid. More tougher than these two is foregoing the habitual life of bhautikavada, worldliness, being with the people, being with the upadhis, foregoing and going beyond them to understand the presence of something beyond divine and keeping that as goal, pursuing that it is a laughable thing only in this Kali Yuga for the sheer fact of its subtlety, although it is beautiful, and our own way of life which we live. And where is the Shuddha Ekameva Dvayam Parabrahma Tattva, the theme of the Upanishad, the goal of the highly evolved souls in their purity, in their subtlety? And where do we stand, with all our personality? And yet, there's no way for the moksha. Therefore, one is capable today or not, able to do the sadhanas or not, is able to achieve them or not. All of them are doubtful, suspicious, no doubt at all. And yet, this being the only way out for the moksha, you and I have to, without giving options or trying to find options and wasting time, we have to slowly, steadily set ourselves on this path. Throughout life, these are the things: the outer management, the inner management, the spiritual tattva, lakshya management. We have to do that is the dignity in us, that is the real achievement in us. It costs so much, it is so tough because of मैं क्यों करूं, मैं ठीक हूं वाला भावना, और दूसरे ढंग है ना आराम से रहने का। हाँ, जैसे अभी देखा, आराम से यू कैन हैव a nap, you can have a sleep. In that also there is ananda. You can have the lot of bhoga vastus. There is also lot of pleasure. You have so many contacts with them. On so many topics we can talk and relax. When so many means avenues are there for me to relax, why should I go through this toughest path of spirituality? Most of the jivas, humans, will have this thought which is natural to them. That is why in all Shastras said, Kaschit Dhiraha. One very rare Dhir, Pratyagatmanam Aikshat, seeks to see the inner self. For that, he puts all his efforts for Avrutta Chakshuhu, Amrutatva Michat. Same thing somewhere said, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate. In other place, Yamaraj says, Devairatrapi Vichikitsitam Pura Nahi Suvigneyo Anuresha Dharma. Arayan Devatas cannot understand it. Such a Shuddha Sattva. Devata means Suddha Sattva Guni, expressions. And yet, you and I, because blessed by the Guru Parampara, not thinking about varieties or options or difficulties involved, we should think about how to work out it, how to achieve it. Just that intellect, instead of succumbing to the mana which proposes all ideas to escape this path, this buddhi. If we can be firm in trying to find the means to be spiritual, to be able to do spiritual sadhana, to reach the spiritual goal, that is a healthy way of life. That's what we, whether it is Deepavali or Dasara or whatever, through the study of Shastra, we are just strengthening our spiritual knowledge regarding truth, regarding the plain presence of the truth in this universe, regarding why we have to recognize the truth and how to recognize. On these topics only, we are slowly pondering, spending some time every day. Without this, also millions are living. We were also living earlier. But then this is, dignifies a human being. It makes him fulfilled. That is how our Shastras said. That is how all our Gurus say. Then who else we have than them as authority to guide us, to tell us. At this moment, on the strength of faith only, we listen to their words. And halfway when we cover distance, when we'll ourselves know what our Guru Shastra said is absolutely correct. Thank God I have taken this path. Though fully not हैप्पी बिकॉज प्रोग्रेस कम हो रहा है और दुनिया को मिस कर, ये चलता रहता है। एज वी आर सो कॉन्स्पिक्यूसली सीइंग इन our evening Adhyatma Ramayanam morning, our Yoga Darshanam, that through the sadhanas, when the Antakarana Shuddhi happens, then the Jnana Deepti will grow. It leads to the Viveka Khyati, saying that, yes, choosing spiritual path of discovering the truth is the highest, greatest, noblest. En route which all that world which is catching us and which we ourselves are not able to live at all. These are all delusionary, not so real as we think, not so important as we think, not so need to be get lost as we do. That Viveka Khyati helps us. Like जिसने इतने सारे कोई भी ऐसे कार्यक्रम सिनेमा देखा हो, one day you'll know यार everything is same nonsense. Enough of it, there's nothing so worthy. So too some people habituated to reading novels. अब पढ़ लिया एक 50-100 नावल, अब पता चलता है बस आप में ही दिमाग खराब। सो टू द वन घूमने निकला शहर, अब घूम घूम के कहाँ घूमोगे हो जाएगा वो। विल कम बैक होम एंड से दैट होम इज होम, होम इज द सेफेस्ट। So to the banda who has hundreds of friends and moving with them, one day bakwas hai, being with ourselves only safe. The one who is like a glutton eating so much, एक दिन आएगा अरे दाल रोटी खाओ बस शांति होगी जीवन में. These are all to a human intellect clicks. We see so many. Some of them might have happened to us. In the same way, when the Viveka Khyati arises, we realize that what we are doing good, correct, of living LIVNG, spiritual life, living LEVNG, the outer worldly thing. अभी तो नहीं होगा हो, बट थोड़ा साधना में आगे बढ़ के विवेक का ख्याति तक जब जाते हैं, मीन्स when अंतःकरण becomes शुद्ध, then we are subtle to think correctly, deeply, then we know. Before that, we look at others, they are enjoying, we are not enjoying. Oh, ये सब चलता ही रहता है. But once that purity comes, then Jnana Deepti happens, Viveka Khyati dawns, then we know. And simple reason, if this spiritual thing is not there and not great, how come so many thousands of Shastras written on it? How come so many thousands and lakhs of great people of earlier all walks of life walked towards it and reached out and proclaimed, claimed the glorious state and proclaimed to all the world, yes, this is most beautiful, most loftiest. So maybe all that way we celebrating our Dashahara Deepavali in our more and more conviction about the truth through more and more serious, sincere, deeper studies of Shastra, and let our Deepavali happen through our deeper and deeper sadhanas toward the truth. We have come here, बस आगे अब आगे ही बढ़ेंगे, पीछे नहीं जाना. So on this very Deepavali occasion, wishing and praying for all we regular listeners of Upanishad for the happening of the inner bright delightful Deepavali of recognizing that conscious self, same self, is there everywhere, and that self only is playing the play of the entire world of multiplicity. So let us enjoy the delightful light of the self and its expressions in the form of this multiple world without we becoming an ego, without taking the world in a biased manner, without giving the world any extra important reality, then its utility or vyavahara value may be reached that heights, and all other our personal faculties should be always also in our control so much that any moment by our own choice, through any of the bhakti, yoga, jnana, karma, we are able to reach and touch the truth. So too in the world too, at the Utthana Kala, when we see the world without forgetting essential self, when we are there, let us be a beautiful contributors, assets. inspire us to the world. Let that be the true Deepavali celebration for us. हर एक बंदा कहता है ना, मैं नौकरी में पूरा मार तभी मैं आई विल सेलिब्रेट दीपावली. Other brothers, I'll make this house, then only my Deepavali. For us, only we realizing the self is true Deepavali. Till that time, all the outer festivals they go on. Somehow the Lord has to manage the show of His created world. So He goes on sending them people at their own different levels, responding to such occasions. They, in a small little dose, tune towards the divine. So let us see what is to be seen today in our Aitareya Upanishad, Yoga Darshanam, Mandukya in different language. Then our Gita 12th chapter is over. 13th starts today. And in our wonderful Adhyatma Ramayanam, Sri Rama teaching Omkara Upasana. Then before that, the Mata Rani, Sri Lakshmi Stuti we will do today. So the Lakshmi Stuti will conclude. Gita 12th chapter will conclude. Then beginning of Mandukya with Sambandha Bhashya today. Beginning of the Ashtanga Yoga today. And the ending of the Prathama Adhyaya of the our text of Aitareya. All wonderful things happening today on this great auspicious Deepavali festival. Yeah. Om 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 Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Om Sharusibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhya. Om Nidhaye Sarva Vidyanam Bhishajye Bhavaroginam Gurave Sarvalokanam Shri Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpad Shankaram Loka Shankaram. Om Bhavayeva Bhavaniti Me Nitaram Samajayata Chetasi Kautukita Mama Varaya Moha Maha Jaladhim Bhavashankara Deshikame Sharanam. Om Brahmanandam Paramasukhadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvataitam Gagana Sadrusham Tattvamasyaadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavaतीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि. परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्मविद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः. श्री ऐतरेय उपनिषदः आचार्येभ्यो नमः. वेदव्यास महर्षिये नमः. ऐतरेय महर्षिये नमः. भाष्यकाराय आद्य शंकर सद्गुरवे नमः. अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः. संकल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधस्य अस्मिन् क्षणे एव अनुभवसिद्ध्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिकहैन्दव संस्कृतेः साम्प्रदायानां शास्त्राणां गुरुशिष्यभक्तभगवत्परम्परायाः समस्तप्रक्रियाणां वेदान्तानां भक्तिसाधनानां योगसाधनानां कर्मयोगानुष्ठानानां पुनरुत्थान पुनर्जागरण समस्त विश्वव्याप्ति द्वारा विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगति द्वारा विश्व शांति कल्याण एकता पुरोभिवृद्ध्यर्थम अस्मिन् धर्म संस्थापन कार्ये निष्ठित अस्माकं सह समस्त भूमंडल व्याप्त भक्त साधक सेवकानां आयुरारोग्य ऐश्वर्य क्षेम स्थैर्य धैर्य वीर्यादि समस्त शक्ति संपदा सानुकूल्यता साधनानां प्राप्ति बाह्य अभ्यंतर शत्रुविघ्न निर्मूलन द्वारा धर्म संस्थापन कार्ये दिग्विजयार्थं श्री ऋग्वेदांतर्गत ऐतरेय उपनिषदः पारायणम् आद्य शंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययनं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे. ॐ मनस्तापदमशान्त्यै यस्य पादनखच्छटा शरदिन्दुनिभा भाति तं वन्दे नीलचिन्मणिम्। ॐ अथ ऋग्वेदान्तर्गत ऐतरेय आरण्यकान्तर्गत ऐतरेयोपनिषद प्रथमोऽध्यायः शान्तिमन्त्रः। ॐ वाङ्मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्म एधि वेदस्य म आणीस्तः श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासेः अनेनाधीतेनाहोरात्रान् सन्दधामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् अवतु वक्तारम्। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ अथ तृतीयखण्डः। जस्ट चैंट दोस् 12, 13, 14 mantras. ॐ सहितमेव सीमानं विदार्य एतया द्वारा प्रापद्यत सा एषा विद्रुतिर्नामद्वाः तदेतत् नान्दनं तस्य त्रय आवसथाः त्रयः स्वप्नाः अयमावसतोऽयमावसतोऽयमावसथ इति स जातः भूतानि अभिव्यैख्यतौ किमिहान्यं वावदिशदिति स एतमेव पुरुषं ब्रह्म ततमम पश्यत् इदमदर्शम् इति तस्मात् इदन्द्रो नामेदन्द्रो ह वै नाम तविदन्द्रं सन्तम् इन्द्र इत्याचक्षते परोक्षेण परोक्षप्रिया इव हि देवाः परोक्षप्रिया इव हि देवाः। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। Very subtle way of conveying, catchable only to those who are very subtle in their ability to ponder and understand. So, one portion of this first three khandas of Prathamodhyaya of Aitareya talked about creation of this world as well as Karyakarana Sanghata by the Parabrahma, Srimanam Vidarya his entry, making three headquarters, going through three avasthas. Then identifying with those headquarters and avasthas, Swabhavika Ajnanena Avidya, like that limited individuality, he is behaving as if it is a real nature. It has become natural to him. That is called as samsari jiva. Once he got into it, जैसे ताशपत्ते में बैठते ना खेलने, अब कितने बार बोला उठते नहीं हो. Children playing, call them, they won't. Cricket when they watch, you tell them any work, they'll shout only. Anybody, the women folk busy in talking to their friends on the phone hours together, they won't listen to you. You ask anything. Then gussa agar you ask, 2 hours you are talking, what nonsense, instead of doing all the work. Who is that person? Who is that? That was a wrong number. 2 hours. In the same way, once we get into the life living at the level of the three upadhis and three avasthas as a jiva, uska abhyasa ramate, the abhyasa ramanam becomes so stronger that we refuse to recognize a greater, higher, nobler, and real life beyond or other than this, nor we want to go for it, nor we try. You see, the whole world is like that. We were also. So that is why how many ever anartha dukkha, what do you call, abhigata of the mudgara still na pramudhyate. That is up to the bondage level. Then among so many millions, some are so lucky that some Paramakarunika Guru comes and he in the ears does the Bheri Nada of the Upanishad Mahavakya. Such person wakes up and realizes his essential nature to be other than what he is living now through the three upadhis as Jiva to be Brahman. So this is what is the essence of 13th beautiful mantra. We saw it twice, thrice we will do now once more. Just browse through the Bhashya and see did we essentially catch every aspect that is said in this mantra, which is the crucial most aspect of the entire topic. What is the mantra? Sajato bhutani abhivyaikyata kimihanyam vavadishariti sahitameva purusham brahma tatamam pashyatu idamadarsamiti. Wow, wonderful. So, sahajataha. So, what is the meaning of that Brahman getting born? So, from here onwards, wherever the Brahman is born, the topic Ishvara is born, topic comes. Vocally, we may utter that word, but then we must know the literal meaning of it, spiritual meaning of it is not the birth of somebody who is absent, now he has come into presence. No. That is why Bhaya Prakata Kripala, Bhaya Janama Kripala is not said. Dina Dayala Kausalya Hidakari. So in Bhagavatam, Avirasid Yatha Prachyam Disha Induho Iva Pushkalaha. Like in the eastern horizon, the moon rises in the evenings, Paurnami time. So to from the Devaki Garbha, Krishna Avirbhut. Krishna is not born. Krishna is never absent to be born. No. All devatas, Brahmadeva, Bhumata, they went and asked ever existing Lord Vishnu only to protect us from all the Dushta Rakshasas. Bhagavan said that I will be coming in the Yaduvamsha through Devaki Vasudeva. Who said? The Lord. Which Lord? Who is ever there? The one who is already there. How do you say he is born? Therefore, he expressed. Prakat hove. So what he said in the avatars in those ways, here in the Vedanta he said in this way that Sajataha means what? Sharire pravishtaha jiva atmana. Entered into the Sharira, playing through the Upadhi, identified little more, and now going through that Jivatma, Jivena Atmana. Okay, what is the meaning of Sajataha? Jiva Atmana Sharire Pravishtaha. What is the Jiva Atmana Sharire Pravishtaha? With these three Stula Sukshma Karana Upadhi, living Jagra Sapna Sushupti, taking that alone as real. Go more deeply with the help of Mandukyas, Aitareyas, other Shastras. Ki within this Stula Sharira, there is Sukshma Sharira. Within the Sukshma Sharira, there is Ahamruti. That Ahamruti has capacity to reflect Parabrahma as the Chidabhas. That Chidabhasa Yukta Aham as the capacity of knowing, identifying, and claiming to be the doer. He knows and he identifies with the upadhis of Manabuddhi, Chitta, Indriya, Sharira. And they do, yes, under the behest of this Chidavasa Yuktaham, the Jiva. But he doesn't do, they do. But he claims I am doer. So we'll just fight the war. The king says, I have done the war and I won it. Like that. So in this way. And this thing on the deep state of meditation, when all idam we drop, focus only on the pure aham, then we see that aham endowed with two things which are so closely chipagaya, which is said in the example of analakta alatava, analakta lohavat, like in Adhyatma Ramayana Visa, and so exactly studied in our other Upanishads. The iron and the fire as they come together. So too the Ahamruti and Chidabhasa have come together. योग दर्शन में दृष्टा दृश्य संयोग. Remember, in yoga darshana, the drishya is not outer jagat. That's always long back it is dropped. Drishya is the thoughts, the vrittis. And the illuminator of that vrittis is aham, drashta. But are we able to separate them? That's the meaning of the mixed up. Thus, the drashta, though naturally, should not be bound by any drashya. But anything the drashya is doing or happening to it, as if it is happening to drashta, me I am going through, which all is delusion. Like going through the fear of seeing a snake which is not at all there. Delusion. Going through all dukkha misery of swapna which is never there. Going through all the miseries, pangs of attachment with a friend, etc., which are illogical because he's a human being. He came with his vasanas. He has his own natural behavior. So he behaves. In that behavior, by mistake, sometimes he did good thing. Now you got attached to him as a friend. By mistake or by reality, he did something bad. Then you say, मेरे दोस्त ने मुझे धोखा दिया. मैं तो कभी imagine ही नहीं किया कि ये करेगा करके. अब रोते रहो. You're all बकवास. But then we take it so serious. These are the other analyses. All that put together is Jivena Atmana Sajata. Okay? Then what हुआ उसके बाद भूतानि अभिव्यक्यत भूतानि व्याकरोत. What is the meaning of भूतानि व्याकरोत? He has expanded his identity with these three koshas. Expanded means developed, let us. And everything in the world outside. After this, we have to say, we should have said what we said earlier, that now he is totally into samsara. Okay? Therefore, thereafter, this is a conclusion of the full-fledged bondage. यहाँ तक bondage खत्म बता दिया पूरा. Now the liberation has to be told. Okay? His own multiple millions of dukkhas, which were like the tadanam praghatanam of the maze. Now the Mudgara, he could not wake up. Then how did he wake up? What is a being of waking up? They are so beautifully explained. We should have that conscious alertness to catch. First thing, Saha Kadachit. He by sometime, somehow. That we in the Pauranika Kala or subsequent time we say by doing some dharma, by doing some seva, punya कहते हैं उसको, by somehow visiting the temples, by some बड़ी महात्मा's blessing, that he became spiritual. ऐसा कौन सा किसका स्पेसिफिक नहीं कह सकते. इसलिए कदाचित कहते हैं वहां. कदाचित मीन्स एट सम टाइम समहाउ. So at some time somehow doesn't give inspiration. Therefore we say pray to the Lord, then Lord only will send the Guru who will give you knowledge. But even that also not a clear answer because that fellow is so much indulgent in the samsara only. How come he entered from samsara to spiritual? After entering to spiritual thought, then I am not able to grow spiritually. Oh God bless me, oh Guru bless me. He's so much fully indulgent in the worldliness. How he turned to spirituality? कुछ miracle है ना. इसके इसलिए वहाँ स्पेसिफिकली शंकर भगवान नहीं कह रहे कि इस कारण से हुआ. इस इज कदाचित. But again, there is a karana given. It is so beautiful and enchanting. It is a really touching Deepavali gift today. From one side, even though we don't know the reason, कदाचित कब क्यों कैसा हुआ ये कि मैं टोटल वर्ल्ड से स्पिरिचुअल आया हूँ. So blank to me from my side, but from other side some force worked. This is where, in a very subtle manner, the hidden points we have to recognize. What is the hidden point here? Ki kadachit paramakarunikeena acharyena. Pause here for a minute and understand. Paramakarunikeena acharyena. देखो बढ़िया सा, I don't know how to fully explain it. I'm 100% sure I'll fail to explain, but we'll try. So he is in samsara, either of samsara, fully in the bhoga and enjoyment in the samsara, and or fully in the trouble or suffering of samsara. From that suffering samsara, you want to become a bhogi samsara. There is a zero spirituality in him. That is the meaning of kadachit. Doesn't know what to do. But from this side, केनचित् परमकारुणिक कदाचित् परमकारुणिकेन आचार्य. So that acharya, who is appointed by the Lord only, or he has taken the task on himself, that suffering jivas have to guide them. Because when I was also suffering, my guru took initiative, himself came to me and tried to guide many of us. Many did not receive his guidance. Where they are lost, I don't know. But I received the guidance. Lo, I am here today in a state of liberation. So let me try. Karke, he pours out his own tapashakti to guide that jiva who is lost 100% in samsara towards spirituality. And why does it Maharaj? Because of no expectation of his own any sort, therefore it is called Paramakarunika. And why Paramakarunika? Yesterday we saw. Leaving his peaceful, blissful state of being one with Brahman in the Himalayan caves, peaceful and calm, quite serene, coming down to the places and then going to the disciple, talking to him, all all that, giving him the Upadesh. He doesn't understand, doesn't want to understand. He doesn't want the Guru. Still, Jeko, Paramakar. That's why I gave you example. That the child suffering so much with the disease. Mother wants to give the medicine. That fellow refuses only. And mother is so Paramakarunika. Mother or the medicine giving doctor. They find all means of loving that child, cuddling that child, distracting the attention of the child from here somewhere, कुछ भी चूचू मुमू करके फाइनली इसको इंजेक्शन दे ही देते हैं, कड़वा दवा मुंह में डाल ही देते हैं. Child is suffering but doesn't know there is medicine. He is not in a mood of wanting to have medicine. उसको maturity नहीं है. Childlike are all samsaris. Suffering, the disease of samsara, but doesn't know how to come out. And even if some gurus or anybody wants to help them, they don't believe or trust. Like the child doesn't believe. ये विचित्र स्थिति होता है, सफर कर रहा है वो. And when somebody coming to help, we think they are coming to add to suffering only. But Paramakarunikena. Paramakarunikeena. Isn't it that mother and doctor? How that mother holds and loves and doctor. Dhire dijiye injection dard hoga. He knows. Nowadays, luckily, science has developed so much that local anesthesia वाला आ गया children के लिए भी. पहले बच्चों को अलाउ नहीं करते थे. The child doesn't know injection nowadays. I heard it. मैंने पता नहीं. Like the mosquito, it gives local anesthesia and then sucks the blood. Isn't it? Nobody knows. Not like that other fellow also. Jonk कहते हैं ना, leech, not lychee. वो कैसे कोई chemical डालती है. Then doesn't know the person. It pokes and takes the blood. So nowadays injection given. So the Paramakarunika. Therefore, please remember, whenever we have entered to spirituality, it is not by our effort. It is some Paramakarunika Acharya poured his Karuna Prema and just started inducing into us this permanent final medication of Adhyatmikata spirituality for the Samsara Roga. And mind you, that Acharya only, the Acharyatva, life after life chasing us, sees to it that we get the knowledge, conviction, strength of spiritual sadhana and reach to ultimate. Akhri moment that Paramakarunika Acharya is there with us. How much we have to be indebted to that Acharya Parambara. Authentically, with full audacity, Bhagavan Adi Shankara says, it is only by Paramakarunika Acharya that this suffering samsari is given the direction for toward that moksha final. अब हम इसके बाद जीवन भर किसी संशय में नहीं रहना हम. Others may be in doubt. We will not try to convince them or force them. वो उनकी किस्मत है, खुल गया तो मानेंगे वो आचार्य को. Because आचार्य alone, because doing acharana, because one knows all the shastras, because in the experience of the truth, because it's the representative of the God, that he alone can treat. Just like every disease, experts are there to treat. So to treat the Bhavaroga, who else are there other than God and Acharya? God alone comes in the form of Acharya. Others don't know. Here Vedacharya means महावाक्य उपदेश. वेदांत महावाक्य उपदेश के करने वाले आचार्यों की बात हो रही. Not any आचार्य. Then Jyotishacharyas are there. There other Vaidyacharyas are there. Nyayavadi Acharya. Everybody is Acharya. We are talking about pure Vedanta. So now very clear. Bhagavan entered, identified suffering. He didn't know how to come out. That Paramakarunika Acharya he is the one who takes initiative. यहाँ तक आगे हम. Now the flow is beautiful, subtle, but continuous. So again we are saying saha that samsari bane हुए परमात्मा ही कदाचित somehow he doesn't know, but Paramakarunikeena Acharyena. By that Paramakarunaka Acharya. And what Acharya does, or whom we can call as that Paramakarunaka Acharya, what he does, ये बता रहे हैं कि आत्मज्ञान प्रबोधकृत. अंडरलाइन दिस. अंदर के अपने स्वयं के आत्मा के ज्ञान इंक्लूड्स इन द ब्रैकेट अनुभव कर दो. अनुभव को प्रबोधकृत अवेकन करने वाले आत्मा आत्मज्ञान आत्मज्ञान प्रबोध आत्मज्ञान प्रबोध कृत. आत्मा इज सेल्फ. आत्मज्ञान इज नॉलेज ऑफ द सेल्फ. प्रबोधम इज अवेकनिंग. कृत मीन्स करने वाले. करने वाले क्या? शब्दिकायाम, है ना, शब्दों को, वर्ड्स. एंड व्हाट इज दैट शब्दिका? वेदांत महावाक्य. Mahavakyas of the Vedanta. Veda is Vedas. Rugyeju Samadhavana. Veda Anta means what is the final in the Veda Anta. Final Veda. Final means knowledge. Veda means knowledge. Veda Anta means acme of knowledge. Beyond that there is no knowledge to be known. What is that Veda Anta is? Obviously accepted by everyone as the Upanishads, the Shruti Shiraha. And all the Shruti have one final thought to convey. Words may be different, but the content finally is the same. And they convey about the Brahmatmaikya Bodha. And that Brahmatmaikya Bodha conveying sentence, the words, the Samuchaya of the Shabdas is called a Mahavakya. Therefore, what is that Paramakarunika Acharya doing? Atma, Atma Jnana, Atma Jnana Prabodha, Atma Jnana Prabodha Krut Shabdikayam. And what is that Shabda? Vedanta Mahavakya. And that Vedanta Mahavakya, when that Acharya gives to the Shishya or that Samsari, how that giving is, how that giving happens. Na? Like what is that situation of that samsari? अनेक अनर्थ से होने वाले दुख से he is not prabuddha, he is not waking up, even though he is given अनेक अनर्थ दुख were acting like what do you call that, mudgara, the maze, yet he was not waking up. So where is he? In that slumber and stupor sthiti, regard to the final solution of samsara. It doesn't mean he's really slept here. Like the whole world is slept to the Vedanta. That doesn't mean they are slept physically. They are awakened, they are in the waking plane, they are vigorously working, but slept to this. So that sleeping, you have to understand the meaning here. So the one who is sleeping to the actual solution, whom so many dukkhas could not wake up, so many anarthas could not wake up. To that person, this Guru Maharaj Acharya, in his Khan, what he does in the ear, this Atma Jnana Prabodhakrut, Atma Jnana Prabodhakrut Shaktikayam. What is that? Vedanta Mahavakya. The next word is important. Bheriyam. Bheri. Bheri Ninada. The trumpet sound. Bheryam tat karnamule tadyamanayam. In the ears, in the root of his ears, when that Acharya does the tadana of this Vedanta Mahavakya, that you can really literally feel in the literature of Adi Shankara, in Puja Gurudev, like the Mahatma's lectures, how they do the Bheri Ninada of the Mahavakya or the Tattva Jnana, which does the Tadanam through the Karna into the Karna Mula, the Hridaya. दिल तक पहुंचने के लिए वो भेरी का नाद they do of the Vedanta Mahavakya. So what it contains, therefore, if one has to awaken from this stuporous slumbers, samsara of all sufferings, he should through the years allow the Vedanta Mahavakya, where Brahmatmaikya Bodha is established into the heart. You and I are up to the ear level listening last 3-4 years. Now you have to slowly allow that what is heard from ear into the heart. And that is done through two processes of Manana Chintana, second is Nididhyasa. मनन चिंतन नहीं किए तो मन में बुद्धि में नहीं पहुंचेगा, निधिध्यासन नहीं किए तो ये ज्ञान हृदय में नहीं पहुंचेगा. Unless it reaches to the hridaya, it can't uproot the ajnanam there and it cannot awaken the pure self who is covered by the ajnana, awakening to the experience of this. So that is why. So when the Guru or Acharya does this, Bheri Vedanta Mahavakya, Bheri Tat Karnamule Tadyamanaya. When that Tadanam is being done continuously, then he awakens. And what is the experience of awakening is so beautifully said, completely said by the Shruti Mata, and while explaining it by Adi Shankaraji. Pakadna, very, very careful. We have heard it, but that is the whole process that happens. So, what is the pictorial picture here? He, through the years, the Vedanta Mahavakya, Bheri Ninada, touched the Moola of the Karna, the Hridaya. Of that Paramatma Parabrahma only, who having created, entered the body, got attracted and attached to the three upadhis, and now living the life of Jiva but suffering. He is not able to wake up to the sufferingless, blissful state by his own efforts or by any number of dukkha tadanas happening to him, which are like Mudgara Prahar. But now the Bheri Ninada. So therefore, any number of worldly activity results, Mudgara Prahara doesn't wake up anyone. Only the Shastra Jnana Upadeshita by Guru has the power to wake up someone. Why? Because the Ajnana is the cause of problem. Only Jnana can awaken. And in the words of the Shruti or Guru, there is the awakening Jnana. Now, what is awakening? See, he says, Etameva, this Paramatma alone, who is he? Srushtyadi Kartutvena Prakrutam, who is in this chapter or Upanishad, in the beginning Prakrutam, mentioned, expected, or explained as what? Srushtyadi Kartutvena, as a Srushtikarta. That Paramatma who introduced in this Upanishad as the Karta of the Srushti. And sa ikshata lokanu sruja iti kahana. So that Paramatma who in this Upanishad, in these initial slokas, as a Srushtikarta introduced. So etameva Srushtyadi Kartrtvena Prakrutam Purusham. Why Purusha is called as Puri Shayanam? So these are all explanations of Upanishadic mantra. मंत्र क्या था? मंत्र को ही पढ़ा रहे अलग शंकर भगवान, नथिंग अदर थिंग. सो सहजातः एक्सप्लेन्ड, भूतानि अभिव्यख्यत एक्सप्लेन्ड, देन नाउ किम इह अन्यम वावदिशत इति, इसको एक्सप्लेन करने के लिए ही फर्स्ट गेव द उपोद्घाता आदिशंकरा कि द परम कारुणिक आचार्य ओनली when that Vedanta Mahavakya Bherinada through the Karna up to the Karna Mula, he makes him listen. Then that किमी हम वावद अन्य दिशा, किमी हान्यम वावदिशत है ना, इसका अर्थ अब बता रहे. Actual meaning of that is what? Other than that Brahman which is me, what else is there in the universe? To that he awakened after thoroughly allowing the Mahavakya to function in his heart through his own effort of contemplation on that Mahavakya. So the Bhagavan Shankara struggling so much to connect the word sentences so that they are acceptable for us and inspirational for us for our sadhana. नहीं पता हमको ऐसे कैसे हो गया हो, कोई आचार्य आएंगे वेदांत मार्ग सुनाएंगे, वो आपके कान में जाएगा, उस हृदय में जाएगा, आप उसका विचारण करोगे, फिर आपको सत्य का बोध होता है. व्हाट इज सत्य का बोध? दैट इज दिस वन. व्हाट इज इट? कि किमिहान्यम वावदिशदिति सद एतमेव पुरुषं ब्रह्म तथा मम पश्यतु. This is what is the sentence being told now. तो तत्कर्ण मूले ताट्यमानायाम एतमेव, this Paramatma को ही सृष्ट्यादि कर्तृत्वेन प्रकृतम, who is in this context started to be explained as the karta of the सृष्ट्यादि, Purusham, who is called as Purusham. Why Purusham? Puri Shayanam, because he was the one who was sleeping in this स्थूल सूक्ष्म कारण शरीर संघात, और सो गए अभी टू द सो गए टू द ब्रह्म तत्व, हिज ओन स्वरूप. Purushayanam Atmanam, his real self. And who is that real self? Brahma. What is the meaning of Brahma? वही कहते हैं उपनिषद में ही एक्सप्लेनेशन, ब्रह्म इज तथा मम पश्यत. तथा मम पश्यत क्या है? इज अ न्यू वर्ड. अरे रामा, दिस इज छांदसम. वन ता इज मिसिंग. यू हैड द ता एंड रीरीड इट. सो तीन ताएं होते हैं. ता ता मम पश्यत, है ना, तत मम पश्यत. उसको संधि विच्छेद करो. सो तत तमम अपश्यत, तत तमम अपश्यत. तो अपश्यत इज नोन. अपश्यत का अर्थ he has seen. That meaning is understood by us. Apashyat. So that is taken as realized. Whom realized? Brahman. What is Brahman? Bruhatvat. That Bruhatvat Brahman, how is he? Tata tamam. Tata mama pashyat को ता और एक ऐड करके तथा तमम अपश्यत. अपश्यत is seen. So whom he has seen? Tata tamam. Tata means vyapta. That's what he says. Tata tamam ब्रह्मा बृहत् तत्तमम तकारेण एकेन लुप्तेन. Therefore एक तत्तकार को ऐड करके शंकर भगवान says तततमम. What is the tatatamam? Vyaptatamam. What is the meaning of vyaptatamam? Paripurnam. Any examples, sir? Akashavat. Of that Akasharopi Sarva Vyapaka, that Brihattama Brahma, Brahma Pratyabudhyata Apashyat. He has seen means he has awakened, because the explanation is he was sleeping. So when you have to say the opposite of sleeping, it is awakening only. Because sleeping person वहां कहा और यहाँ कह रहे देखा है. और स्लीपिंग पर्सन कैसे देखता है? वो सो रहा है. तो स्लीपिंग पर्सन देख रहा है का अर्थ ही इज अवेकेंड. देन ओनली ही कैन सी. सो देयरफॉर अपश्यत मींस अप्रबुद्ध्यवान, अप्रत्यबुद्ध्यतामो. So he has awakened by that power and effect of the Mahavakya. Of course, we have to do the contemplation on it. What is the way of awakening, nature of awakening, what he expresses when he awakens? Beautiful it is. He says, Katham. Katham. ध्यान से सुनना, इदम ब्रह्मा, this Brahman, Mama, of my own, Atmanaha, self, Swarupam, essential nature, Adarsham, I have seen, Drushtavan Asmi, I have experienced. Oh, really it's so beautiful. Iti, in the knowing this Brahman which is ever liberated, I was lost in Navpad and I was suffering. Oh, that for all the three things. Oh, I was suffering. Oh, thank God I awakened. Aho, thank God I have awakened to the Brahman, therefore there is no more suffering. So, aho iti, iti, why that dirgha? Iti बोल तो छोड़ दिया ना, विचारणार्थः प्लुतिः पूर्वम. So, that विचारणार्थ प्लुतिः पूर्वम, the प्लुति, the प्लुतस्वरा iti, 3 times जो लिखता है ना, 3 number लिखा है उधर. That is विचारणार्थ, means he just feeling, thank God that the Acharya came, he taught it. Then I contemplated and then I awakened to my essential Brahma, Brahata, which is, what is that? Tatatamam, tatamama pashyat, tatatamam apashyat. I have realized I am awakened to my essential nature, the Brahma, the Brahata, which is all pervading, not limited to anything. Here all pervading means this is the own reality. On that everything is superimposed by a different topic again. But the main point is this. This is the meaning of this main श्लोक का. So उसमें से हमको टोटल थिंग सोच कॉन्टेम्पलेट करके ग्रास्प करना. And without making too much details like other Upanishad, this Upanishad precisely saying you are sleeping to the state of realization by being identified with the 3 dehas in 3 avasthas, suffering as samsara. You have to awaken. The only 2 ways of awakening is step 1, go to Acharya. Step 2, listen from him Mahavakya of Vedanta, do contemplation on it. You will discover that you are not any of these samsari jiva suffering through 3 upadhi. You are that bruhat tatatamam, that Brahma which is bigger than biggest, therefore which is tatatamam, all permeating. One everything, when one thing permeates everything, such things cannot be two. If that one thing is permeating everything which has no two, anything which is seen other than it in the form of the entire world of names and forms are only superimposed on it. So ये सब फॉलो करते हैं ये सारे sentences is last explanation को, which is self explanatory, which was discussed in earlier places. तो यहाँ श्रुति माता सोचती कि अब तुम तो यही तो उपनिषद में आ गए हो, आई नीड नॉट टॉक ऑल दैट. शंकर भगवान कहते हैं हमको पता है, तुम समझ गए. क्या समझ गए? That the Brahman is Brahat, bigger than big. Because he is bigger than big, he is infinite. Because he is infinite, it cannot be two. When there cannot be two, it is one without second. In that one without second, if anything other than it appears, it is only appearance on it. It is not real. Therefore, the Brahmagnani, when he experiences Brahman, after that, he himself, when he sees the whole world of name and form, he knows they are all expressions of me only for some transactional vyavahar, which is not so essential or important. Time pass. है तो है, नहीं तो नहीं, फर्क नहीं पड़ता. I am in my place. Like sometime, na, desperately the husband asks, काफी ले आओ, भूख. Sometimes he says, नहीं चाहिए मुझे. Sometimes he says, है तो लाओ, नहीं तो नहीं. फर्क नहीं पड़ता. Because he is contented. So too, once one reaches Brahman, है तो लाओ जगत, नहीं तो नहीं, फर्क नहीं पड़ता. I am in my bliss. Okay. Now, the next last 14th mantra has a different subtle meaning. बढ़िया सा. उसको थोड़ा विलक्षणता से हमको पढ़ना है. Just we do the introduction, we tell you the shloka and meaning. Tomorrow only we do the charcha of its meaning. Okay. He says, Yasmat, because idam iti eva yat sakshad aparokshad brahma sarvantaram apashyat parokshena. Yasmat means because of this reason. What is the reason? That be attentive. Sakshad aparokshad brahma sarvantaram apashyat. Okay. That Brahma who is all pervading, he has experienced Sakshat Atma Rupena. Okay. Before experiencing, how he was taught by the Guru? Idam Rupena. While experiencing, how he experienced? Aham Rupena. When somebody is asking him, where did you start? What did you start? How did you reach? No, which experience you are in now? Can you explain? Whenever the teaching which we have to gain from the Guru has to be done, when we ourselves become teacher or explainer to any other listener, the natural way of teaching is paroksha रूपेण, idam रूपेण. Then उस ब्रह्म को मैंने पाया. अब he is experiencing the Brahman, but you can't tell like that to the listener. Because whenever the telling comes, objectivity is essential. Na? You can't talk subject. क्योंकि बिफोर एक्सपीरियंसिंग इट he was the Parabrahman was discussed objectively only as if गुरु taught that is all. अभी उनको मानना ही नहीं है ब्रह्म है करके, तो शुरुआत में परोक्ष रूपेण ही बताते हैं. द एंटायर महावाक्य बोध इज परोक्ष रूप, बट व्हेन महावाक्य बोधम इज टीचिंग leads to the prabodha, the awakening. At that time, anubhuti is not paroksha, it is aparoksha or pratyaksha. That one who is pratyaksha rupena, paroksha rupena experiencing Brahman, when he has to report to others or the Guru or anybody, naturally he'll have to tell it in the paroksha rupena. We are telling always in paroksha. So the twist is what here? Brahman alone is real. He alone became Jiva. He only suffered. Then by the Guru's teachings, he himself recognized Brahman as his own self. And when he has to tell others, he'll have to tell it as Paroksha Rupena, Idam Rupena. That's what I said. These 2-3 shlokas are very twisting, very subtle, very trickish. जिनको पकड़ में आया ना, they are really subtle. They are really pure hearted. They really come to class to understand Vedanta, to understand the truth. Because there are 1,000 reasons for which we come to understand the truth. उनको ये पकड़ में आता है. This answers a question. What is that? How the Guru experienced the Brahman, who has his own self, can talk on it? Because the self cannot be spoken. Whatever you speak is object only, other than you, the not self. Answer is this. There are two beautiful things here. What? The realization comes only when the truth is experienced aparokshena or pratyakshena. But the truth can be conveyed only pratyakshena or parokshena. Sorry. Parokshena only it has to be taught. So, what is a beautiful thought with which we will conclude today? Because it is aparokshena or pratyakshena experienced, it cannot be talked parokshena. ऐसा करके छोड़ो मत. Self is experienced as self. It cannot be discussed as the not self. Because self is not self. Saying so, don't stop listening. Point 1. Be subtle. Second, just because the self is explained as not self, idam rupena, don't get stuck up in understanding the self as not self intellectually. That won't give you liberation. You have to use that objectively given knowledge of the self through the Mahavakya Upadesha by the Acharya. Subjectively, we have to contemplate on that Mahavakya to reach to the meaning of that Mahavakya, which is taught objectively as the subjective Brahma Tattva. आत्मा तो अनुभव है, उसके बारे में बोल नहीं सकते. ट्रू. बट अनुभव पाने के लिए बोलना ही पड़ेगा. बट आत्मा इज नॉट बोलने वाली वस्तु, फिर वो अनुभव करने वाली. सी दैट readily sorted out once for all. Self cannot be spoken about. True, because it is not an object. It has to be experienced. Then only realization. Then only moksha. But to reach to that, there's no way other than listening from the Guru. When the Guru talks, he talks parokshana eva. Because the moment the two people come and discuss, the topic will be objective only. नहीं तो दोनों चुप बैठेंगे, ना वो पूछ रहा है नहीं बोल रहा है, वो बोलते शर्मा के, हाउ कैन आई आस्क अबाउट माय ओन सेल्फ? गुरु आल्सो सेज, उसके बारे में मैं क्यों बोलूं और मेरे बारे में मैं क्यों बोलूं उसको? Transaction will not happen then of transferring of the knowledge. That twisting, beautiful meaning is conveyed in this shloka. Already we discussed it with Bhashya. Tomorrow we'll see. It says कि यस्माद् इदम इति एव यस्साक्षात् अपरोक्षात् ब्रह्म सर्वांतरतमम अपश्यत परोक्षेण. तो taught परोक्षेण, experienced प्रत्यक्षेण or अपरोक्षेण, again reporting परोक्षेण. Same thing happened in Kena Upanishad in different way. When Guru taught that fellow, he went and discussed quantum. Okay, Guru asked, "Beta, pata kar liya kya?" "Haan, I understood." Then Guru said, "You have not understood." यदि मन्यसे सुवेदेति तभ्रमेव विन्हुनं त्वं वेत्त ब्रह्मणो रूपम् यदस्य त्वं यदस्य देवेषु अतनुमीमांसमेव ते. Then the disciple went and he discussed. He took all the Guru's guidance so seriously. He caught it. Manye, he says, I knew now. Now you tell what you know. Naham manye suvedeti, no na vedeti vedacha, yo nastadveda tadveda, no na vedeti vedacha. I have known it in such a manner that I have known it yet, but I have not known. And I have not known, but still I have known it. That way I have known it. And the Shruti says, yeah, whoever knows like this fellow, he is the knower. यस्या मतम तस्य मतम मतम यस्य न वेद सह अविज्ञातम विजानताम विज्ञातम अविजानताम. So it is while listening, teaching, contemplation, it is paroksha. But experience is aparokshena, which is also called pratyakshena. But after experiencing, there's no way that a guru can bring out his self and show him, or teach out the self from the disciple and show him. He'll have to tell only in the parokshena. So two thoughts clear. परोक्षेण बोला जाता है, इसलिए परोक्ष समझकर छोड़ो मत, प्रत्यक्ष अनुभव तक जाओ आगे. प्रत्यक्ष अनुभव से पता चलता है, इसका अर्थ सुनना छोड़ो मत. So the mantra is Tasmad idandro nama idandro havai nama tam idandram santam indra idya chakshate parokshena paroksha priya iva hi devaha paroksha priya iva hi devaha. So that Indra word, from what meaning it has come? Very good. Now we are doing Indra Kruta Lakshmi Stuti evening. Indra is Paramatma. How that Indra word defines Paramatma and how it is derived from this Anubhuti, tomorrow we'll see. Little twisting. I have to tell you same thing 4 times for you to catch. That's it. But मजेदार बात है. Having done that sloka, concluding the first chapter, we start the Dvitiya Adhyaya, which has got lot of Sambandha Bhashya by Bhagavan Adi Shankara, Idam Purva Bakshi. So let us revel in that from tomorrow. Om, 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 Om. Om 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 Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Paramarashibhyo Parabrahmane Shruti Matre Om Tat Sat Brahmarpanamastu. Yes, dear friends. Happy Deepavali. Join for Yoga Darshana.